Your body is sending vital signs right now, but you may be ignoring all of them. Every year, thousands of people discover a late cancer diagnosis because they do not pay attention to the subtle warnings their body has been giving them. Did you know that seemingly simple changes in your body can be crucial indicators of serious problems? Today, I will reveal 4 hidden signs of cancer that most people completely overlook. These signs are so subtle that they can go unnoticed, but identifying them can literally save your life. Get ready to discover how your body tries to communicate with you, and more importantly, how to correctly interpret these messages before it's too late. The importance of paying attention to the body's signals reveals itself as an essential chapter in the journey of self-awareness and health preservation. Our body functions as a complex and interconnected system, where each alteration can represent a fundamental sign of something that requires deeper investigation. Many people neglect small bodily changes, attributing them to stress, fatigue, or natural aging. However, this inattention can mean the difference between an early diagnosis and a late treatment. Understanding that our body develops subtle communication mechanisms is the first step toward a more conscious relationship with our health. Doctors and researchers constantly emphasize that the human body has an incredible intelligence for signaling internal imbalances. These communications can arise through persistent fatigue, weight fluctuations, skin changes, alterations in sleep patterns, or changes in appetite. Each sign represents a unique language that needs to be deciphered with attention and care. The early detection of any potentially serious health condition directly depends on an individual's ability to observe and interpret these signals. Developing a deep connection with one's body means being attentive not only to physical symptoms but also to emotional sensations that may accompany these transformations. Experts recommend an integrated approach, combining personal observation, regular medical checkups, and preventive examinations. Modern technology and medicine offer increasingly precise tools to assist in this monitoring process and in the early identification of potential changes. The key lies in education and individual empowerment. The more information a person has about their own body, the greater their chances of quickly identifying any sign that deviates from the usual pattern. It is not about developing a hypochondriac stance, but rather about cultivating a relationship of respect and care for one's own health. Health professionals emphasize that prevention continues to be the best route. Investing in healthy habits, maintaining a balanced diet, practicing physical activities regularly, and managing stress levels are fundamental strategies to strengthen the immune system and reduce the risk of developing serious diseases. The journey of bodily self-knowledge is unique for each individual. The important thing is to develop an attentive listening, respecting the signs that our organism presents to us, and seeking professional guidance whenever necessary. The process of understanding cancer and its early signs requires a careful and scientific approach. The manifestations of this complex condition can arise in surprisingly subtle ways, demanding a keen awareness of bodily transformations. Modern medicine has significantly advanced in understanding the mechanisms of tumor development, revealing that each type of cancer has unique characteristics in its progression. Tumors can grow silently without causing immediate symptoms, making early detection crucial to increase the chances of treatment and recovery. Cancer cells initiate their journey through genetic mutations that compromise the normal functioning of tissues. These changes can be triggered by various factors, such as hereditary predisposition, exposure to toxic substances, a sedentary lifestyle, or adverse environmental conditions. Researchers have demonstrated that the immune system plays a crucial role in recognizing and combating these abnormal cells. When this system is weakened or overwhelmed, the likelihood of tumor development increases considerably. Metastasis represents one of the most challenging aspects in the oncological context. It is the process by which cancer cells detach from the original tumor and migrate to other regions of the body, establishing new centers of abnormal growth. This complex phenomenon underscores the importance of identifying any bodily changes early. Contrary to common belief, not all tumors are malignant. There are tumor formations classified as benign, which do not have the capacity to invade and spread to other organs. However, this does not mean they should be ignored, as they can cause compression and dysfunction depending on their location. Periodic examinations, regular medical follow-ups, and a healthy lifestyle are fundamental strategies for monitoring potential abnormal cellular developments. Preventive medicine has gained increasing prominence, emphasizing the need for a proactive approach to health. A comprehensive understanding of these processes allows individuals to develop greater awareness of the subtle signs that their body may manifest. Knowing the internal mechanisms of cellular transformation represents a crucial step for self-care and the preservation of overall well-being. 4 hidden signs reveal silent stories that our body tells daily. Each subtle transformation represents an important chapter in the narrative of our health. Let's reveal these secret codes that often go unnoticed in everyday life. The first sign emerges through subtle changes in body weight. Unexplained fluctuations can mean much more than simple dietary variations. When the body loses weight for no apparent reason or gains weight quickly, without changes in diet, this can be an important alert. Doctors emphasize that these variations may indicate metabolic imbalances or developing pathological processes. Changes in the skin represent another extremely relevant channel of bodily communication. New spots, changes in pigmentation, non-healing lesions, or unusual growth of markings are indicators that deserve special attention. Modern dermatology highlights that our epidermis acts as a revealing map of complex internal processes. Persistent and unexplained fatigue constitutes a third critical sign. It is not just ordinary tiredness, but a profound exhaustion that doesn't resolve with conventional rest. When the body remains constantly exhausted, regardless of sleep or food intake, it may be signaling cellular wear or systemic impairment. The fourth sign relates to changes in digestive and intestinal patterns. Alterations in the frequency, consistency, or color of bowel movements can reveal significant changes in organ functionality. Experts indicate that these changes may not always be comfortable to observe but represent valuable information about our internal health. Interpreting these signs requires attention, sensitivity, and knowledge. It does not mean developing hypochondria, but nurturing a relationship of listening and respect with one's own body. Each sign represents a unique message, a silent call for us to look beyond the superficial and understand the internal processes we undergo. The key lies in conscious observation, without paranoia, but with responsibility. Recognizing these codes does not mean diagnosing, but seeking understanding and, when necessary, appropriate professional guidance. Our organism has a complex intelligence, communicating through subtle languages that need to be deciphered with care and love. Identifying these signals in practice requires a strategic and conscious approach. It is fundamental to develop a deeper connection with our body, observing details that often go unnoticed in the fast pace of modern life. Monitoring bodily changes does not need to be a complex or stressful process. We can create simple, everyday strategies to carry out this tracking. An interesting technique is to keep a weekly log of weight, energy, and physical disposition. Some smartphones already have apps that assist in this recording and monitoring process. Observing the skin deserves special attention. Spots, pigmentation changes, or growth of markings can be performed through monthly self-examinations. Using a well-lit mirror and doing a complete mapping of the body helps identify subtle transformations. Tracking sleep and fatigue patterns also represents an intelligent strategy. When fatigue becomes persistent without apparent reasons, it's time to pay more attention. Keeping a sleep diary, noting rest hours, sleep quality, and energy levels throughout the day can reveal significant patterns. Periodic preventive examinations remain the safest method for monitoring. Regularly consulting professionals, undergoing checkups, and following medical recommendations represent a direct investment in one's health. Current technology allows for increasingly precise and early diagnoses. Technology can be a great ally in this process. Wearable devices, such as smartwatches, can monitor heart rates, sleep quality, and physical activity levels. This information, when analyzed together, can reveal significant patterns about our health status. A holistic approach considers not only physical aspects but also emotional ones. Stress, anxiety, and psychological imbalances can directly impact our immune system. Practices such as meditation, yoga, and therapy can assist in this process of self-knowledge and balance. It is important to emphasize that each body is unique. What works for one person may not be ideal for another. The key lies in individual observation, respecting one's peculiarities, and continuously seeking well-being and quality of life. The challenges in identifying bodily signals reveal themselves to be more complex than we initially imagined. Navigating the universe of internal sensations requires a nearly detective skill, where each change can represent an important chapter in our health story. Many people encounter significant barriers when trying to understand their body's messages. The daily hustle, work overload, and incessant commitments become real obstacles to more attentive observation. How can one perceive subtle nuances when we are submerged in a frenetic routine that barely allows us to breathe? Contemporary stress works as a true noise that hinders our internal connection. The more hectic life becomes, the more distant we feel from the ability to listen to the silent whispers of our organism. This disconnection can mask important signals, causing significant transformations to go unnoticed. Another important challenge lies in interpreting symptoms. Not everything that appears to be a serious problem actually represents a serious condition, and vice versa. This gray area generates insecurity and can lead people to two extreme behaviors: completely ignoring or entering a state of absolute panic. The overload of available information on the internet also contributes to this difficulty. Websites, forums, and apps pour out content that can both clarify and confuse. An excess of data without proper filtering can generate more anxiety than tranquility. Developing a personal monitoring strategy requires patience and method. Some techniques can make this process less stressful, such as keeping a diary of bodily sensations, establishing weekly self-care and reflection moments, and practicing body awareness techniques like meditation and breathing. Technology emerges as an interesting ally on this journey. Smart devices, health apps, and accessories can aid in the recording and tracking of physical changes, transforming the observation process into something more objective and less traumatic. It is fundamental to understand that this search does not mean developing hypochondria, but cultivating a respectful and intelligent relationship with our organism. The secret lies in the balance between being attentive without being obsessive, observing without judging, and seeking professional guidance when truly necessary. The key to overcoming these challenges lies in education, self-knowledge, and building a more harmonious relationship with our own body. Each person needs to develop their unique strategy for listening and caring, respecting their particularities and limitations. Ignoring bodily signals represents a dangerous mistake that many people make. Some misguided behaviors can significantly compromise the early diagnosis of serious conditions such as cancer. The natural tendency to minimize symptoms or delay medical investigations becomes a silent risk. Many people develop denial mechanisms when they notice subtle changes in their body. They prefer to believe that everything will pass unnoticed, creating stories to justify fatigue, weight changes, or skin transformations. This defensive attitude functions as a psychological shield that temporarily protects the individual, but can be fatal in the long run. Several recurring errors deserve highlighting. Seeking quick solutions online without professional guidance constitutes a dangerous strategy. Self-medication, misinterpretation of symptoms, and postponement of medical consultations are behaviors that can mask serious conditions in development. Another common trap lies in relativizing symptoms as natural results of stress or aging. People tend to normalize persistent fatigue, sleep disturbances, and digestive changes as consequences of contemporary fast-paced life. This normalization prevents the early identification of potential health impairments. Health professionals warn that the fear of discovering something serious also contributes to this negligence posture. Some people prefer not to undergo examinations or investigate symptoms out of terror of receiving bad news. This psychological protection mechanism can become the main obstacle to appropriate diagnosis and treatment. The culture of waiting to see represents another risky behavior. Many individuals postpone medical consultations, hoping that symptoms will disappear naturally. This passive approach can mean losing important windows of early intervention, especially when we talk about conditions like cancer. It is important to understand that our body develops sophisticated communication mechanisms. Each symptom represents a complex message that deserves careful attention and responsible investigation. Attentive listening does not mean developing hypochondria, but cultivating an intelligent and respectful relationship with our health. Experts recommend a proactive approach, regularly undergoing preventive examinations, maintaining consistent medical follow-ups, and developing body awareness become fundamental strategies. Knowledge, combined with the courage to investigate, can represent the difference between early treatment and a condition that is already advanced. The key lies in the balance between attention and serenity. Observing bodily signals does not mean living in a permanent state of alert, but cultivating a relationship of care and respect for our organism. The adaptation of bodily observation reveals itself as a unique and personalized process for each individual. We recognize that there is no universal formula for monitoring health, considering that each person has completely distinct characteristics, rhythms, and needs. For professionals with intense routines, strategies need to be practical and quick. Technological devices such as wearables can assist in recording basic information like heart rates, sleep quality, and physical activity levels. These resources allow for discreet and efficient monitoring without demanding much time or additional effort. People with a more sedentary lifestyle will need to develop different methods. Keeping a weekly diary of bodily sensations, recording energy, mood, and any discomfort can be an interesting approach. The periodicity of this record aids in identifying patterns and subtle transformations that would otherwise go unnoticed in daily life. Athletes and individuals who regularly engage in physical activity have their own observation mechanisms. For these individuals, changes in physical performance, muscle recovery, and endurance can represent important indicators. Closely monitoring these variations allows for quick identification of any changes in organic functionality. Health professionals recommend adapting monitoring strategies considering age, family history, pre-existing conditions, and lifestyle. A woman over 40 will need to develop a different approach than a young adult, for example. Meditation and body awareness techniques can also be incorporated into this observation process. Moments of internal connection, where attention is paid to physical and emotional sensations, aid in developing a more refined listening to one's own organism. Current technology offers sophisticated resources for this tracking. Specialized apps allow for symptom recording, conducting self-exams, and even scheduling preventive consultations easily and intuitively. It is fundamental to understand that this process should not generate anxiety, but rather promote a relationship of care and respect. The key lies in balancing being attentive without being obsessive, observing transformations with serenity and emotional intelligence. Each body tells a unique story. Learning to decipher this personal narrative represents a valuable investment in one's health and quality of life. Our journey of discovery about bodily signals reaches the crucial moment of integrating knowledge and action. We need to transform this understanding into proactive attitudes, allowing each person to develop a more conscious relationship with their health. The 4 revealed signs are not just information, but true codes that our organism shares. The responsibility now lies with each individual. Observe, record, and seek professional guidance when necessary. More than fear, we want to promote knowledge. More than diagnoses, we seek empowerment. Each body has a unique story, and understanding it can mean the difference between prevention and late intervention.